do like it is for tonight.
Alright guys, welcome everybody. We're doing an impromptu road condition for Christian County. Had to get out and take care of the kitties at the Humane Society. Make sure that they were good and warm and snuggled and fed. So decided to hop on real quick and give some local road reports after the storm. Do see we have several on here with us already. We are currently on 68, headed back toward Hopkinsville. We didn't go all the way into Katie's. Road departments have done a pretty good job of trying to keep everything plowed. But with the heavy amounts that we received and the sleet and then the freezing rain, it's all packed. So can't see any type of pavement at all. Roads are still solid white. They're not the main roads aren't too slick. We have hit a few areas where we slide around just a little bit. We are in a four-wheel drive, obviously, that haven't had to engage yet, so there's that. One thing is cold. It is still cold. There are still some snow flurries out and about. Won't be able to see those on the radar. That's just residual moisture in the air from all the precipitation that we have received, just kind of flying around trying to make its way down. One thing about these roads where the clouds have come through is they are bumpy. It's almost riding like on an old country road that's been extremely well traveled. I do see that we have a few of our regulars on here. Eric Brake is with us. My other half, Anna James. I have reminded Shane several times that he has precious cargo. I know that's what you always request. Dave from West Virginia. Hey, Dave. See that you say everything is turning to ice in Huntington. Well, I suggest you stay home, stay warm. It has definitely been a wild ride the past couple of days, that is for sure. Again, right now we are in Hopkinsville on 68 Katie's Road, headed back towards Hopkinsville. I'm going to be coming up on the Eagle Way bypass here shortly. We're not going to stay on too long. Just wanted to give some a few of the local road reports around. We'll probably hit downtown, maybe do a loop around the town, and then call it a night. Keith, yeah, I don't see this stuff going anywhere anytime soon. We're not going to get out of the teens tomorrow, and then I think last time I looked, the low tomorrow night is like -1. Don't think we're going to get above freezing this week either, which is not good news. Even if the sun does come out and melt just a little bit from the solar heat, overnight, as soon as it gets dark, it's just going to refreeze and conditions will worsen again. So we may be dealing with this for maybe into next weekend. I know that they've called the schools here in Christian County through at least Wednesday, and I honestly expect them to be called for the rest of the week as well. I know the back roads and out further in the county, those roads won't be plowed or treated or anything, so it'll take a lot more time for them to be passable for the buses again. Yeah, Anna, we were out that way earlier before we went live, and it's about the same way. Every road through here is pretty much the same. Some are packed down a little bit more than others. The main roads are definitely packed more than some of the local side roads. Just passed a public works truck that is still out plowing the roads tonight, so that's good that the guys are working as quick as they can to get everything plowed up, and not doing much good at the moment, but they're doing what they can. We are currently on 68, coming up on Edgewood Church here in Hopkinsville, right as it turns on to West 7th. Right now we're running about 25 to 30 miles an hour. Of course, we are on a straightaway. We're not feeling too much of the slip and slide. These roads have been plowed and packed, so we haven't had any like real slick spots roads. Intersections where the plows have come through and kind of piled up in the middle of the intersections, we have encountered some rough sliding around in those areas so far, but that's pretty much it. Alright, one of our spotters is saying that the Hopkinsville solid waste isn't working tomorrow, so there'll be no trash pickup tomorrow. They don't know about Tuesday yet. Alright, Keith, we have all-terrain tires on my Xterra. We are getting ready to pass the woodshed on West 7th Street. I'm going to slowly make our way back into downtown. Andrea Cook. No, we have not been out towards the Herndon area. The farthest we went that way was at the Hucks at Lafayette and 68, or the bypass. I imagine those roads out that way are in the same condition or worse. I am noticing that the state roads are much better plowed than the actual city roads. We are on West 7th at the moment, getting ready to cross the intersection at North Drive. The plows have been through, but they are still in terrible condition. The one Eagle Way bypass and 68 looked much better. They were more smooth for sure. When the plows come through, it definitely makes the roads rough. They are extremely bumpy. Shelly, I bet it is bad. I know for us to even get out, Shane worked on the Xterra for about, off and on for about an hour. Had to keep coming in to warm up just to get it unthawed enough to be able to drive. It was definitely covered in, obviously, the snow and sleet that we had, but the freezing rain that we had overnight as well had everything frozen solid. No matter what precautions we took, it just didn't help. Depends on when your doctor's appointments are. If they are tomorrow, depending on where you live, I would definitely check with the doctor's office first, make sure that they are open. Otherwise, just use your best judgment. Most of the main roads in Hopkinsville are passable, as long as you go slow and take your time. Tracy Runyon, yeah. We had intentions of not really going anywhere today, but we had one of our volunteers for the Humane Society not be able to get out or not trust herself enough to get out, which I can't blame her. So we went by and made sure all the cats were taken care of, and food and playtime, all that good stuff. Got to make sure that they are well cared for. Yesterday there was reports of Belmont Hill being extremely slick, and it was. We were doing road reports yesterday on here as well, and seems like every time we come up through here, it was worse and worse. But tonight it doesn't seem nearly as bad, probably because the snow and sleet has stopped and everything is packed down. Plus the plows have come through and cleared a lot of the buildup and the slush out. Now don't get me wrong, it is still slick, especially when you're trying to turn, or in areas where the plows have come through and the snow is kind of built up in the middle of the intersections. We've kind of lost our tail end a time or two turning the intersections, so just be careful if you do get out. Boston, Kentucky girl. Yeah, I'm definitely an animal lover. I love volunteering at the Humane Society. You kind of get a deep love for all of them, and I prefer the Humane Society over the animal shelter here, just for personal reasons, but we've got quite a few that are up for adoption. If anybody wants to check them out, go check out the Facebook page. We've got some really, really cuddly sweethearts that are looking for their perfect forever home. Tracy, we ended up with about 3 inches of snow total, and then yesterday evening and overnight it transitioned to sleet, and then some places received up to about 1/4 inch of ice in the freezing rain here in Hopkinsville, and then it transitioned back over to sleet this morning, so we got about 1 inch of sleet off the top of that. Everything's kind of died off now. We see a few little minor flurries here and there, but again, that is just the residual moisture in the atmosphere making its way down. We are now on 9th Street, getting ready to cross up on the Skyline Drive intersection. Again, it's the same as everywhere else. It's just solid white, packed down. Snow plows have been through. Luckily, we've had minimal power outages during this so far. For those of you that don't know, I work at Hopkinsville Electric and have been kind of keeping up with power outages today. We've had a few smaller ones that the guys have been very quick and efficient at getting everyone back on, because it is super cold. I just want to thank all those linemen and state and local workers that are having to take time away from their family and be out in this to keep us all safe. Penny Raw Electric has had more outages than we have, but they cover a much broader area than Hopkinsville Electric. The further east you go from here, the worse it is. I was speaking to a friend of mine that works at Glasgow, Kentucky Electric, and she actually had to put 12 hours in today because they have major outages. They got hit with a lot more freezing rain and ice than we did. Dave, yeah, that tends to happen. Shane was out trying to clear the sidewalks for us and our neighbors yesterday, and he cleared them a few times, and within a matter of an hour he'd go back out and have to start clearing again. Guess during stuff like that, it's just best to wait until it's over and then clear it. That way you're not having to put all that work in. Andrea, yeah, that's definitely something to keep in mind, is if any outdoor pets, please make sure that they have sufficient shelter, not just from the the snow and the ice, but the cold that we're having. I know we have about, on any given day, between 5 and 7 stray cats that I feed. I made them little outdoor shelters out of totes from Rural King and put straw on the inside. Straw is much better than hay, as it does not retain the moisture that hay does. So we can go out and have 2 or 3 cats in each one of the houses at any time during this cold that we've been having. Eric, yeah, we definitely did dodge a bullet with ice. Definitely further east you go, the worse it got. The storm was kind of crazy. At one point yesterday, they decided that it wasn't going to have any of the freezing rain and ice with it. And then all of a sudden at midnight last night, we're under an ice storm warning. Kind of threw me for a loop, but didn't surprise me much because I was steadily watching the temperature go up, which told me that the temperatures in the upper atmosphere were increasing. Which is how we ended up with the freezing rain. It just got above freezing up there. Didn't have time to refreeze before it entered the low atmosphere and ground level. So that's how we ended up with that freezing rain. Funny story about the stray cats that we feed is feed them twice a day, every morning, every evening. They've gotten so used to my work schedule that they're at the door waiting, meowing, in between 7:15 every morning, and they're waiting on me when I get home at 5:15 in the evening. Went out to feed this morning, and I filled up my bird feeders as well. Well, them crazy blackbirds have been all over my bird feeders. Well, they found the cat food too. So the cat food was completely wiped out. The bird feeders have come down about halfway in the past 24 hours. So I wait till dark to feed the outside cats now, because if I don't, they won't get any food. The birds are eating it all. But it drives my inside cats crazy. I have 2 inside cats, and they just sit there all day at the window because my bird feeders are right outside the window, and it's driving them nuts. My male, he's a black cat named Binks. He was nosediving into the window today. I told him he was crazy. Mark is on with us, guys. Yeah, I was just telling him we had to get out and go take care of the cats at the Humane Society. So we decided to hop on real quick and just give some road reports. Yeah, Mark, we've been on for about half an hour. We started off at 68 Katie's Hopkinsville Road. We went towards Katie's, but not all the way in. Turned around, come back to Hopkinsville. We were almost to Gracie when we turned around and started the feed from there. We've just kind of been going our normal loop, getting ready to hit Fort Campbell Boulevard, head down that way, and make our way back home.
That's where I stopped at the bank.
Tracy, yep, I do believe that they both made it home safely. I was a little concerned about David just because of the road he lives on. It's definitely a hill coming down to get out and a big hill to go up to get back in it. So, but he did. And there's Mark saying that he sure did too. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Mark was, if he wouldn't have made it home, he would have definitely given one of us a call.
Power line's got a couple lights on.
Connie, right now we are on Fort Campbell Boulevard, right in front of Walmart. We're only running about 25 miles an hour. As Mark mentioned yesterday, sometimes this camera can be deceiving. Looks like we're going a lot faster than what we are, but I promise you, we would never put our lives in jeopardy for this. So I just glanced over the speedometer and we are definitely holding at 25. For anybody wondering, Walmart is still open, the big Walmart. I seen a post earlier on Facebook that the neighborhood market was shutting down at 5 today for the safety of their employees, but the big Walmart has not followed suit yet. I just checked Facebook and they haven't posted anything about closing early. So to my knowledge, they should be open till 11 o'clock tonight. They are about the only thing open aside from the convenience stores that I've seen. And the smoke shops. Just glanced over in the smoke shop here on 41. They are definitely open. Believe it or not, the Waffle House here is closed. We literally just passed there and the lights are off. Buffalo Wild Wings seems to be open, but the Waffle House is shut down. Again, these roads that have been plowed, they are extremely rough and bumpy. That is for sure. Make sure you have an empty bladder if you have to drive. Mark, you are absolutely correct. Jim Cantori is always seen where it is the absolute worst. Luckily, we haven't seen him yet. We have seen quite a few people walking, but I don't think any of them were him. He likes to go where the thunder snow is. His reaction to thunder snow is fantastic every single time. Again, guys, if you have to get out, just take it really slow, take it easy, give yourself enough time to get to where you're going. Make sure you leave enough distance between you and the car in front of you, because if you have to hit your brakes really fast, you will slide. Every road we have encountered, you cannot see pavement at all. No matter how much they have been plowed, it is so packed down that it's just not making it down to the road itself. Minimal thawing will be happening over the next couple of days. The sun comes out. The solar heat may go ahead and thaw a little bit of the top layer, but as soon as that sun goes down, it's going to refreeze and be a solid sheet of ice. So we'll try to get back on again tomorrow. It may be tomorrow evening, because I do have to work tomorrow, but I am working from home. They sent us all home with laptops Friday, so I will not be able to be out during regular business hours doing this. But if we get the urge to, we may hop back on tomorrow evening, do this same thing for a little while with you guys, just to kind of keep you updated on things as progression goes. Dave, you were absolutely amazing. Thank you for that. And yeah, Mark, you're right. It might. Who knows? That salt's probably so far buried under this stuff right now. Looking at the Mesonet site, looks like Christian County is down to 11.3 at the Mesonet, with a feel like temperature of 11. Luckily, we don't have any wind at the moment. Mark, are we expecting any wind overnight as this blast of cold comes in behind this? Alright, Mark says that yes, we're expecting some gust to 20. A little less tomorrow. That, with the coating of ice that is still on the power lines and the trees, that could pose a problem for power outages tonight. I just looked at our outage map for HES, and we do have an outage at the moment. Looks like it is around the Durrett Avenue area. We're only showing 25 without power right now, but that is 25 people in their homes, or at least 25 locations that do not have heat during this cold. So I'm sure that the guys are definitely out there getting that addressed as quick as they can. Again, I was talking to a friend of mine that works at Glasgow Electric over in Glasgow, Kentucky. She put 12 hours in today. They got hit much harder with the freezing rain and ice than we did. She did say that they are staging up to work all night tonight because of the wind coming in. So that is something to keep in mind. Even with this minimal amount, stand outside, you hear a breeze blow, you can hear the popping and the cracking of the ice. So that may potentially take down some small limbs, and if those smaller limbs hit power lines, it may take them down as well. So just kind of plan for that. Okay, Mark says he just checked the forecast. Winds are only 5 to 8 over the next couple of days. So hopefully once this cold blast gets through here tonight, we won't have to deal with the wind as much. But it is still going to be brutally cold. Still looking at wind chills of -11, Mark says. So if you have to be outside, make sure you bundle up. Hypothermia can set in super quick during these conditions. Dress in layers. Yeah, frostbite is definitely a concern as well for the ones that have to work outdoors. Guys, I do believe that we are going to call this. We are back on West 7th. Kind of went through the whole town. Again, all the roads look the same. A lot of the side streets haven't even been touched unless someone has drove through their entire tracks. Just be very alert and very cautious if you have to get out. My advice is to stay home with a warm bowl of soup and some hot chocolate underneath a blanket, watching your best Netflix series or your favorite movie. For those that do have to get out, just take your time. Again, make sure you bundle up, stay warm. And if we happen to get on tomorrow, I'll post on Facebook before we go live. This one was just very impromptu. We didn't warn anybody. David and Mark didn't even know that we were going live. So, surprise. Anyway, you guys have a good evening and stay safe and stay warm.